wasn't even ready myself. I just wanted to test something out. Be right back. The 420 was good enough, but now you're getting now you're consolidating at prior day VWAP. So this is getting better by the hour, right? You spent the last 3 hours consolidating at slightly higher levels, and now you're consolidating at an elevated level, and you're getting UVXY going red. So that's what you need. Hey, listen, the enormity of what we're witnessing right now might be flying under the radar with you guys. You're getting 6-point rips on the Qs like it's nothing. 6-point rips. I mean, this is a 10-point channel that we're in. 12-point channel. And look how easily we're going from top to bottom. I mean, these are 8-pointers. Think about the enormous market cap that is just ripping by. They're trading the Qs as if it's an illiquid penny stock. It's unbelievable. Like, if you think that these are humans making these moves, I mean, we're seeing just intraday fluctuations that sometimes you wouldn't see, that it would take weeks, months. I mean, there have been years where you don't see the market move 10% for the year. We did it today, all flows. It's amazing that today is still the same day that we just witnessed. I mean, it's incredible what we saw today. I mean, you're never, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say you're never going to see it ever again. And it all started with a faux show, bro, VWAP break. I mean, blue to orange wasn't crazy enough, but you see how it really kicked into gear once we went green? I mean, it's amazing. To tack on 27 more points after we went green. But this range that we're in, you might not see. I mean, sometimes you won't even see a 6-point range for the day. You've seen it now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 times. You've seen moves. It's amazing. The only thing I've done all afternoon was I bought the dip and Apple again. That's it. I mean, I'm really just sitting on the sidelines most of this move. I've been waiting to see if UVXY was to collapse again. By the way, you can't short it now suddenly. They want to charge me $500 to short UVXY, so I've been buying SVXY. Let me see if you can short it again. See if they're charging me. No, can't do it. I'll tell you what's going to happen next, right? I don't know I mean, I still think you could be flirting with lows again this afternoon, but we are putting in a very, 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 very strong sideways bullish action right now. So, we're coming in. This is not the best time to be coming out of the trend because usually you're getting fucked at this time of the day. But we haven't really been trending. So if you're trending into the 145 area, usually it's a counter trend move right now, but we're just kind of following through of the move that started about an hour ago. Yeah. But Apple was just back down to that 175 area. I promised I would trade it. And there it did. It went there again. Made something. But this is as good as it's gonna get right now. Every dip, no matter how many times you played it, worked. Even if you were late to the dip and you just bought VWAP breaks. I mean, the follow through just on VWAP break has been, the 7 points. You might not see a day like today ever again until tomorrow. I mean, the volatility is probably here to stay. So this is the opposite of what I was talking about this morning. The last thing you want to see is just stagnation. To some, you look at that chart and you're like, oh man, we've gone sideways all day. Look closer. This is the entire market. This is the cues going from 415 to 430, back to 415, back to 426, back to 417, back to 520, 425. This is insane. From the distance, it looks like we've just gone sideways on, a boring kind of afternoon. These are monster rips. And it's, you're in the process of ripping higher right now. It can't be that easy. I'm just skeptical now. It can't be that easy, but UVXY going red throughout this chop. It's telling you right now at 145 that the bears are on the wrong side right now. You got yourself a 1 minute, you're over the multi-day. Once you get past this spot, which is only like, 2 points today, is like 2 ticks. So just incredible. And yeah, this is it right now. You're everything you want to see to be a bull is happening right before your very eyes right now. The only thing keeping me, from being super, super bullish is that I get this idea that there's still some selling that needs to be done at the end of the day. But these last 3 or 4 hours, they've maybe they've done their selling. They got out of the way. I don't trust this market, into the next. I don't trust this market at all right now. But damn, if you're buying dips and selling rips, which is kind of what we do on a normal basis, it doesn't get much better than what we're witnessing. It really doesn't. I mean, legitimately trading the cues like a penny stock. I mean, look at the way they're moving in 2 point increments. Think about the enormity that's going into these moves. Look at that last. I tried to stop you out by bringing it back to the 425, and then it ticks at 425, and now you're trading 429. That's 4 points. You wouldn't see this. It would take you 6 hours for the cues to move on a 4 point. That's 4 points in less than a minute. You don't want to be on the wrong side when it goes back the other way, but man, you'd be crazy to be short right now. Really. So, this whole time when I'm saying shorting is short-lived and you're going to die, if you were trying to stay like in with one position, like for me, it's easier because I'm selling naked calls on the Qs that are far out of the money. So I'm net short the market this whole time. But these intraday trades have been all longs from Thursday, Friday, and obviously today, last night, futures contracts. Short term has been all buying. I haven't, I traded Newsmax. I mean, it's most of what I've been doing is buying. And now I'm going to be, within the next couple of days, I got no reason to hold on to these. Now I got options that are 200 points out of the money. I'm not going to hold these for the next 240 days to try to make another dollar. So I'm going to cash out all of this stuff and I'm going to be just neutral, ready to rock. Earnings season's about to start. I just hope this volatility stays. And then we'll see. If you start seeing companies report bad earnings and the stock is gapped down and they recover, the bull market is back. That's as simple as it is. The guy, Leo Cooperman, what was his name this morning? The guy knows what he's talking about. Obviously, he's been around doing this for 70 years. When you see market speak louder than sentiment, right now sentiment is bearish. But if the market starts to tell you, hey, the worst is priced in, and how do you know the worst is priced in? First of all, if we stay green today, a lot of what the nervousness is all about might be finally priced in. With earnings is coming out, you see gap downs being bought again, then the market's telling you that we got some short-term support, more support. I mean, this day started so innocently for me. I bought 300 shares of Newsmax at $45 just because it was going green and the stock has been like a safe haven. That stock starts to rock. Next thing you know, I'm in a faux show, bro. I was looking to buy Apple at 175 anyway. And then I can't believe where I was long the Qs. It's sick. It's so sick. 409.50. I mean, and that was a chase at the time. Oh boy. I mean, if you just would have bought the five, your favorite, any of your whatever your favorite five stocks were today, they moved. I mean, if your stock didn't participate in that move, then you must be in the different realm of reality. Anyway, SVXY, UVXY starting to work here. This is important right here. UVXY collapses, the market is telling you, and if we could get past 215, obviously I'd rather be long right now than anything. UVXY is confirming now that this could sustain itself. UVXY stays red for maybe another, 15, half an hour past 215. You get past 3 o'clock with UVXY still being red. And if we rally into the close, no one in their right mind is going to stay short overnight. And then tomorrow, what you want to see is you want the market to try to scare people out in the beginning of the day. If we dip and rip tomorrow, it's going to be freaking epic again. A little shake and bake at the beginning of the day, get some sellers to take the wrong side of the market. Everyone's going to chase back in. Today's a big day. We make it through the next 2 hours. Wow. It's just amazing. I never thought I'd be this amazed by anything, but Newsmax, by the way, if you didn't know I was not drinking or smoking weed, Newsmax just crushed me. That Thursday night, I was like, I'm having a drink. I mean, haven't seen a stock go up 100 points. I mean, I've seen stocks go up 100 points. I've never been involved. Haven't been involved in over 25 years, maybe more. That I've sell out of stock, and I lost on that last trade, which was the hardest part about taking that shit. I bought it, it starts to come out of that range. I buy it, 12-point risk, and it went down exactly $12.35 to stop my ass out, and then rallied from 139.50 to basically 287. I never thought I'd have to see that. I never thought I'd have to be involved. It's just amazing. And since that day, it's one more amazing moment after another. I've never seen the market, again with COVID, it was like something. I think that was the only other time, but I don't think 10% off lows. I mean, legitimately went 10% on the Qs off the low. More than that. Low was basically 398. We rallied to 443. That's like 11%. It's insane. It's insane. Especially an old guy like me. There was years where you didn't move that much. I mean, it's amazing. I just can't. I can't stop. I mean, it's just. I'm shocked. Still shocked. I think I'll be shocked now forever. And it started with the same exact chart pattern as every one of our buys has always started with, the fake out, shake out. I mean, I can't believe I sold. And it went up 8 points as soon as I let go of the button. And I was like, oh my God, the Qs are going green. Maybe I should buy them back. And by the time I even done with the sentence, they were 438, 428, and then oh man, seriously. At least this move is nice and slow. You can appreciate it. It's giving you a chance to sell. You can raise your stops. This is the best move of the day, actually. This little last faux show VWAP break back above. You consolidated at the highs, and now you moved higher. Now you've got real levels. Now you're looking for specifics. You're looking for the retest of the high, which I'm shocked we haven't got there yet. I'd be looking to sell. That's the 429.63, which should happen in this next move up. And then you got the 425 prior day VWAP is really the only logical spot to want to get out if it rolls over. Wow. So if you guys have oh, this should be fun. Hello, Togolo Falomofahai. Hello, Nakapitsai. Hello? Hello? Hello, Togolo Falomofahai. Fahai! Hi! Why do these spammers actually call and they never have anything to say? I'm always ready for some entertainment. Now they don't even bother trying to sell me anything anymore. I should answer the phone like I usually answer. I'm alone. I'm old and I'm alone with lots of money. What can I do for you? Oh, there's more. And now we can't trust anything. We don't know if the tweet is real or not. That's scary too in itself. That big major up move was triggered by a fake tweet. So yeah, that's awful, really. But that's the environment we're in right now. Oh boy, 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 boy. But still, you rather be long, again, you're risking 2.5 at this point, which is the standard QQQ entry fee now. 425, 2.5 right from here. I mean, I'm shocked that we haven't got to that my price yet. All right, here we go. We should get there on this move. How are we not getting there now? So that peak right there, that's 429.63. I mean, we should hit it right here. Let's go. Bastards. Wow. We're a fart away from it. I said 429.63. By the way, if it hits 429.63 and starts to plummet immediately, and you don't believe in the rigging, then I don't know what to tell you. But this is the best move of the entire day, other than that freakazoid moment. At least here you got levels got formed and chart patterns and little subtle uptrend, VWAP break, ass crack break, 1 minute multi-day VWAP break. I'm surprised we haven't got 419.63 yet. Come on, prove me right. 429.63. Let's go. I'm amazed we haven't hit it yet. What is it waiting for? I didn't say 51. I said 63. Now you got 58 on that point, on that one. How are you not hitting this 63? Come on. Show your face. Show your face, Algo. I know you're out there. 529.63. Let's go. One more push gets us there. There you go. Sold to you. 429.63. All right. So now, So now that we got here, now what? Well, that other candle was 431.79. And the top of that other candle, because the move was so stupidly huge, look at the size of these candles. So the top and the bottom of that candle right there. But how about that 429.63? What? Right? Little rug pull right there. Typical, right? So now we see what's up. Because the market got to where it wanted to. It had to, I should say. How you like me now? 429.63 selling there, huh? Right? 429.63 out. Rug pull. Now, if they're going to really fuck people up, that's going to be, this next candle is going to be right down to 525, which would be really, really hard to take if I was still long. I would put a stop in the middle at 527.50. There's no way I'm letting it go back below, 27.50 without dumping whatever you got left. But how about that? See how it gets back to the price from whence it came? That's trading right there. And here comes the 427.50s, right? So now they're searching for those 427.50 people who put their stops at that big number. Here they come, right? 2.5 point increments is, I mean, we're moving the cues. Think about how much is going on here. 2.5 points on the cues in 2 ticks. You never see this. It's unbelievable. Bear market trading is the best trading, right? Volatile trading. You're never going to see this. You don't see this in bull markets. You see grindy, boring, annoying days where you just grind up, take you 2.5 hours to move $1. You're doing it in a blip. So sick. It really is. I never think I never thought I'd be this amazed by the market ever again in my life, but here we are. Hopefully, it stays volatile for my nephew and my cousin to start getting my nephew and my son when he's coming home and get reacquainted with all this stuff. I'll be back. You see that? That's bullish consolidation still, homies. You see where UVXY is, right? It's telling you, look, we're past 2 o'clock now. Oh, baby. If UVXY closes red today, I mean, I'm disappointed because, I was hoping to see UVXY in the 60s, maybe even get into the 80s so I could take out a loan. I got all the money ready. I was ready to rock. Anyway, that was a decent trade. That was my favorite trade of the day, that last QQQ long, because you were able to identify risk reward. You got a 1 minute multi-day VWAP break. You went back to the prior high. That was nice. All right. And this is what we do for a living, my friends, right? So listen, my friends, you see how I'm not including any of the reindeer games? I'm like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer of this industry. Maybe because I'm just a day trader, but man, let's address what I did first. I called the high of the entire year because it was a blow off top, right? And I was trying to explain to people the smart money got out in those 2 days because we saw something that was unprecedented, a new high that was met with selling. We broke new highs. They took us up to roll it over because that's the oil tanker, right? You got to go higher before it turns. So when we went and we broke new highs and then we wound up turning around, that was it. That was the freaking trap right there. When they broke new highs just to roll over 2 days later, and that's when volatility started to spike higher. And then when we didn't recover like we normally do, and we had our first 3-day sell-off, it was over right there. And then we broke down, again. Then you had the 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, 9 month, 1 year, 2 year. I mean, we hit the 2-year VWAP. I mean, we already hit 2 years worth of VWAP, and that was the 420. And that's why 420 is so damn significant right now. Any close above 420 is pretty encouraging for all. Again, I don't care what happens tomorrow or the next day or the next 6 months or 2 years or 10 years. Just know your levels for what to expect tomorrow, and then you come in with some expectations, but nobody was expecting what we saw today. Today kind of busted a lot of charts because now we've had a 10% candle. We might live inside this candle for the next month, 2 months. That's a 10% candle. We can live in here now for many, 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 many days. You're above today's highs, bull market is on. You break below today's lows, we're done. You break today's lows, we're going down another 10%. Easy. And it's going to be nasty. And right now, there's really no reason to think. Yeah, under 420. I mean, I would short the Qs again at 425, really. You break 425, that's prior day VWAP. It's really the 425, 423.50. You break under there, you're going to get the retest of VWAP. You retest the VWAP, people are going to start getting nervous again. You know, I'm out now. That was my last trade, the long Q trade just now, but we're still consolidating above 425. It's still bullish. UVXY trying to put up a fight. It's gonna be an interesting next 2 hours, and then the overnight session, and then you got more talks and blah blah blah. And now that we're on pins and needles, everything's going to be exaggerated. Imagine, if you will, Iran and Israel, right, start shooting rockets at each other again like we did 4 months ago. 4 months ago, when the market was raging higher, nobody gave a shat, which was bewildering to me because I was like, holy shit, this is legit. World War III is actually breaking out, and nobody cared. If that happens tonight, oh, everybody will care. It'll be a whole different thing. But what I am curious about right now is I think Trump broke the market so badly now that even if he was to say, you know what, I was only kidding, I just wanted to see how things would react. I promise tariff talk is over. I'm never going to even use the word again. Nobody's getting tariffed. We're just going to go back to it as if if I never said a word about it. The markets would not rebound immediately. We're broken now. It's going to take a lot of effort now. We're going to need some consolidation and whatnot. And again, that's on a bigger scale. I got to always give it the overview. I like having a feel for the market, but at the same time, it's really insignificant compared to, whatever JP Morgan and Delta Airlines has to say, coming out earnings. And right now, you're at 210. This is just more consolidation. And until it breaks down, you have to be long. Anything above 425, you still long the Qs right now. And feels right. It's 3 points. You usually don't have to risk 3 points on a QQQ trade, but that's the environment we're in right now. Under 425, it's gone. But you break through that 429.63 again, then you're in that, get another 3 points to the upside. I can't even imagine. I haven't even looked. I'm not even trading. I'm not even thinking about trading options. They're probably jacked beyond belief, I'm assuming. Yeah, so for instance, a 430 for the end of the day, it's probably like $2, right? It's 260. Shouldn't be 260 with 2 hours left. 2.5 points out of the money for 250 with 2 hours left. That's jacked, right? These should be $1 in a normal environment. But what I am going to do is, if we do get slammed again tomorrow, I am going to start doing exactly what I did last time the bear market was raging. I'm selling puts on SOXL 5 months out. You're going to give me if they get, well, again, the whole trade started, SOXL was around 5 or 6. I went like 3 months out. I started selling $3 puts on SOXL for $1. You want to give me some SOXL at $2? I'm in. I mean, even at 3, I'm in. But I mean, if SOXL is under 3, we got bigger problems in the world. But that's I'm probably going to do that. I'm looking at the January. What month are we in now? So this is April. So May, June, July, August, September, October. I would go 6 months. So what's in October? There's November's. November. Yeah, November threes are 50 cents. That's insane. Basically 250. And you sell yourself 10 contracts, $500. I don't think it could go to zero, but it could keep going down. It's just these leveraged products are bizarre when they get pummeled. I've seen some of them get delisted. Some of the VIX products had to get delisted. I think they broke the gold ones. I remember back in the day, something had to be readjusted and reissued. But I covered. I'm pretty much out of these whole short strangles. There's no reason to cover. There's no reason to stay in them anymore. I was biased to the short side for the last 3 months. I mean, I sold some of these contracts at 12, 8, 7. Covered some at 250 and $1. I'm not going to wait. I was out till next March selling 620s for like $12. I'm not going to sit there waiting for $2 more for a year, especially when you're making $2 a freaking point. I mean, $2 each tick on the Qs now. It's insane. It really is. But man, if you were just faux show broing today, the entire market faux show bro. It's that day. This is like our holiday. No matter what you picked, even the dumb stocks. Like when I say dumb, I first thing I think it was Lunar, right? Here, I mean, you had faux show bro on every stock. Every stock was breaking lows. Then they turned fake out, shake out, VWAP, and most of them went past multi-day VWAP. So you had faux show bro 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversals on. I would say what do I watch? 1,000 stocks. I would say 990 of them had that set up today. I mean, it was just what did you choose? You know, easy answer was the Qs. What did you choose? Easy answer is the Qs. Who's? Blues. Coos moves. Yeah, if we sell off into the close, that is going to scare the shit out of people for sure. Here's the thing: it's the premise here, right? So let's say you had a fund that called your company. Hey, you managing our money? We want to sell $3 million today. Noted. They got their order, right? So now they have their order to sell. Market starts ripping, right? They're not selling into the move. Everybody was bewildered by that moment. So now that sell order is still out on the desk. I mean, they're probably working it throughout the day, but I still think there's going to be some sellers out there come at the end of the day. But the market's telling you no. So my idea that there's going to be some late day selling because those orders probably weren't even done this morning on that rip to the highs, that they're going to have to get done inevitably unless the managers are pulling their orders. Again, who the hell knows? But right now, this is some one monster range we're in. It's a 16-point range, and you've hit incredible. Look how many chances they gave you to trade. double bottom, triple bottom, quadruple bottom, double bottom. Even if you were late, VWAP breaks got paid. This one you got to get stopped out. Even this little tiny one right there, that's 419 to 422. This little blip is 3 points. That's awesome. Yeah, I never trade. Oh, you know what I've been meaning to ask? Does anybody know what Misty is? MISTY or something? Somebody asked me about it. It's something that pays a dividend. I'm not too sure what it is. Does anybody know what Misty is? Somebody asked me to go investigate it. As I don't know if it's a stock or a ETF. MISTY maybe. It's probably a Misty stock dividend. Let's see. Oh, it's a MicroStrategy thing. Yeah, that's what I figured. MST. Nah. I don't know what this person's talking about. And they're saying Misty's been paying them a guaranteed dividend every month. Is this true? Nothing's guaranteed. And if you own any MicroStrategy, you're getting smoked. But my friends, the Qs, right? They tried to sell you off one more time, and they can't do it. Look, every sell-off is a buy. Even, I mean, look at this. This is 4 minutes ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes ago. They tried to get you back under that 425, and then it rips 5 points. It's a 5-point rip. 5 points. But tomorrow will be the big. You think today was good, right? Today was a little. I don't think anybody held that whole move, right? But I think you're going to get that same move. There's no way you should expect the Qs to rally 42 points tomorrow. But if you faux show bro again tomorrow, that's super bullish because usually what you're seeing today happens tomorrow. And the buyers are here and they've been here all day. They've been here since 6 p.m. last night. As much as it seemed like we were getting hammered, buyers were here last night. And the buyers are here still. That could all change in one big red candle. You see how you never broke down? There's your capitulation. You tested it. And that was, what was it, 4 o'clock in the morning? Yeah. So normally I would say be careful of the biggest rug pull ever. UVXY is telling you maybe not. Maybe no rug pull. And if you are afraid of the rug pull, you shouldn't be because you got very specific areas to worry about. Again, 427.50, 425, and 423.72. So wow. All right, so I'm going to leave and come back, see if the market gets volatile again. Usually if I walk out of the room, weird shit happens. So listen, if you guys want to hang, I don't want to get political. I just want to get people from both sides talking about the market environment. I want to hear from both sides. I'm trying to gather some people. And again, I actually just sent an email to the person that said, I don't like Trump because I'm afraid of his masculinity. And she said it and meant it. I want to know where that comes from. Like, this is, again, nobody likes this person. Nobody liked her in college either. But she's got like this crazy online following of people that still feel her way. And she keeps getting validated because her group hangs on every word that she says. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, where's the masculinity in what do you see here? I'm curious. What what part of he had to buy his wife is masculine? I'm a fairly decent fellow. I've never had trouble with the ladies. What's up? I think that's a song, right? I'm not the most masculine guy, but I certainly never had to pay for sex, right? That kind of voids out the masculinity right there. If you've paid for sex, to me, that's voids it out. I don't know. But I'm curious to hear from, and again, I have a Trump supporter that has jumped ship, you know, and again, this was as close to me. I'm not a Trump supporter because I don't like the person. Anybody that, and again, anybody that claims to know more about everything than anybody else, you're just a douche. You're a douchebag, right? You're a douche. There's assholes, there's dicks, and there's a douchebag. He's a douchebag, right? But I do like law and order and closed borders. And obviously, I don't mind them trying to violate these sand rat Palestinian scum's freedom of speech, because you don't get freedom of speech in this country if you side with terrorists. So I'm a fan of those policies. I'm not a fan of the guy. But I have a friend that was a huge Trump fan, flag on the back of the boat, the whole thing, but always never liked him as a person. But didn't matter because it was about policy. And now he says, you know what? He's lost me. So there's it's rational thought. I just want to see if people are rationally thinking this out. Like, and again, it could be genius. And I was joking around about it, but it was actually said the other day. Maybe the best way to stop inflation is to have a recession. I was talking about that, again with my wife, and my wife's the reason we had inflation because she never stops buying shit no matter how high the price goes. See, I'm debating whether or not to go on a trip because I don't want to pay. They charge me $1,200 to fly from Jersey to Vegas. $1,200. There's a point where, can I afford it? I want to go. Can I afford it? Yes. But I feel that I should boycott. That's a ridiculous amount of money. That same flight cost me $385 last year. Now it's $1,200. Boycott that shit. That's how you end inflation. Stop buying stuff. But it's genius because the best way to stop inflation is a recession. I don't know. But why would you want to do it this way? I'm just curious. Yeah, for a coach seat. Yeah. I'm just curious. They're in a room. Somebody said, hey, if you do this, it might crash the market. And then somebody said, let's do it anyway. It's not just him making these calls. And then, look, I find, again, I want to ask my Trump friends how they feel about it. It's like, listen, the conspiracy and the crime, right? I believe he was paid off by the Nicola guy as part of a bribe. Very easy to bribe. You just disguise your bribe as a campaign contribution. And then they pardoned that guy. That pissed me off. And then my what about Trumpers said, what about Biden? Fuck Biden. Take the laptop and smash it over his senile skull. Take him and his son, blast him into space. It doesn't make what happened with the Trump thing. Again, it's like, I used a rape analogy to be more graphic, but my parent is, if there's a crime being committed, something should be done about it. Anyway, but you got to think someone said, hey, maybe we don't do this. And they went and did it anyway. A self-induced crash, self-induced recession. I don't know. So anyway, what I was saying was the conspiracy and the crime. Okay, the market's getting slaughtered. Do you find it troubling that Fox tried to pretend it wasn't happening? They didn't talk about the story, and then they took the little bug off the screen. They never did that. Ever. Since the inception of their channel, it's always been in the right corner there. And that day they took it off. Like they're trying to cover it up. Doesn't that piss you off as a person? Whether you're a Trump supporter or not, doesn't that piss you off? Pisses me off. Pisses me off that people get away with crime. And the big guy in the Ukraine and the Biden, yeah, if there was a crime there, go get them. And by the way, I know we'll have all these discussions on Saturday. And by the way, if my son was a fuck up and I was president, my last order of business would be pardon my kid. You do it. Everybody would do it. But he said he wasn't going to do it. You do it anyway. I don't care how much of a fuck up your son is. If you're the president, you're not letting your kid go to jail. Come on. Right? And they're all corrupt. They're all awful. But I just pretended I was walking out of the room and the market just gave back the 5 points. Look at that. Oh my God. I didn't even get a chance to get up. Yeah. And again, I wouldn't not like him as much if he would just stop saying he knows more about everything than everybody. You don't. Like, for instance, I'll give you one for instance. I love to be proved wrong. That's why I'm a VWAP trader. It's not about what I think. I love it when I'm thinking something and then VWAP justifies what I'm about to do. Right? So I'm pretty pissed off that we had this April 5th rally, right? And here I am thinking, did America just go out and take to the streets because the market went down 20%? Seriously? I was like, that annoys me because we got other things, are more important. Market crashing and corrections is a natural occurrence. Recessions happen. It's an economic cycle. And everybody had to go out and protest. So I started yelling at some of my, like I said, I'm in the middle. I got people that are out there. Any protest, they're out there. Black Lives Matter, anti-Trump, they're out there. So I was like, let me ask you a question. When Jewish kids were being chased by fucking terrorists, seriously, on these campuses, where were you? Did you take to the streets then? Because that's a little bit more significant. I know it's something that means more to me than other people. I have post-traumatic stress syndrome from being chased myself on my way to Hebrew school. That's kind of where it comes from. But I'm also a 9/11. Now, I'm not going to say survivor. I wasn't in the building, but I was there. My brother-in-law running from the dust cloud. My friend's wife was killed. My friend's girlfriend was killed. So when I see this shit going on in my country right now, that shit is what I'm passionate about. And America took to the streets because the market's selling off a little bit? Seriously? We got some fucking priority problems. So my friend said, no, it's really not like that. The march was planned before the market was going down. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that. Let me retract my statement. I'm still not too happy about the fact that you had this massive nationwide rally anti-Trump because the markets, because the economy, we go through economic cycles all the time. Be this passionate about our country being overrun. Just me. All right, be careful out there. So now we're back to that prior day VWAP. And by the way, I'm thinking about becoming president again. I'd be the best. I would be the greatest president ever. All of my fears about being a president, right, are now squashed. When I was a kid, I thought I wasn't smart enough. I'm definitely smarter than a lot of these guys. That's for sure. I didn't think I was articulate enough. Much more articulate than a lot of these guys. right? I didn't think I'd had, again, the smarts is a big part of it. I was always wondering, well, what if I don't know something? What if I don't know something? Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything. That's been proved. And I was a fan of Bush, and I loved him because he was so genuinely, he was there. He's like, I'm just trying to help, just trying to do my job. And now I know I can't do anything worse than these last two guys. I mean, Biden, we had a senile, half-dead guy as president. And then they tried to elect an inept person with no experience. It's just so fucking nuts. I would be the greatest president. I'd be the greatest president. My first order of business, I'd find out if they're eating those cats and dogs, goddamn it, once and for all. Universal gun laws. Not only would I close the borders, I would end immigration. I'd put an immigration pause. Nobody's allowed in. Give us a couple of years to figure out our shit. We got some shit going on in the country. We need to figure out our shit. Nobody's coming in. And I'm going to say this once. If anybody tries to get in, you're getting shot. Freaking lasers, man. I'd have a moat around the entire country. Put us back on the silver standard. I would drive silver up. I'd drive silver to 120 an ounce, baby. And if I heard, again, I hate the stories about, the gang members take over. Like there was that story, it was like New Jack City. They took over a building, whatever. So if that's even remotely true, I'm going in with the military. There's not going to be a town in our country where the police are afraid to go in. I'll burn the town down first. I'd be the law and order president. I don't want to hear those stories ever again. I want a formal investigation, and if it exists, burn the building down with the gang members inside. And if they come out, let them burn. Don't shoot them. Don't waste the bullets. I'd make law and order stick. I'd give permission to walk. Not only would you have concealed carry, I wouldn't even need you to conceal it. We'd be walking around like it was Wyatt Earp all over again. 1923. You guys watched that last episode? Holy shit, I'm freaking crying. I'm bugging out. That show just ripped me apart. He jumps off the train. Oh my God. And then the rich dude only has one secure. I don't want to ruin it for you, but one guy. He knows he's coming for him. He's got one guy out there. He sends an army to the house. He's got one guy protecting the house. That's just irresponsible. He deserved to get what he got. Oh, man. But that show, the whole show is basically about how hard it was to travel. Jesus. By the way, Q's, hold that VWAP. Oh, man. I'd be the best president. Only the best. I'd get Ramaswamy. Nobody who makes less than $60,000 pays taxes. Right? I love the poorly uneducated. The poorly educated. They would love me. Poor people would love me. Right? What happened to that whole thing about we were just going to tax the rich and have them pay for it? Do you know if we just tax Elon Musk a little bit more and how much we could build? And by the way, I would end any support for universities in this country, no matter whether they supported terrorism or not. No way. Like these universities need funding from the government. You're ripping everybody off. And in my next policy, I would make college the 13th grade. Hear me out, right? As long as you're in the grade system, it's free, right? Kindergarten, pre-K, kindergarten, first grade through 12th grade. Let's just make it the 13th grade. Boom! Problem solved now. 13th grade, it's free now. My parents went to school, it was free. I paid $880 for a year of Brooklyn College. I remember how outraged we were when it went up to 1,100. 1,100 for the quarter, it was $2,200 for the year. And we were mortified. I put an end to that, and I do formal investigations. It would be a whole nother, I would create a new generation in this country. We'd go back to the idea that you don't have to go to college to get a job. That's where the racket started. Society let that happen. I mean, what the hell did I go to school for? I didn't end up with any of that stuff. I learned how to, I was in acting and television and radio production and all that stuff. I didn't use any of that shit. The real way we should do it, you force corporations to restructure their process. You don't need a college degree. If a kid comes out of high school and says, hey, look, I want to work for you guys. I work for nothing for 6 months. Teach me, qualify me. If I'm still a schmuck after 6 months, I'm done. Do it that way. It would save everybody so much money, so much aggravation, too. The process of getting into these schools is a racket, too. Yeah, if you're along the queues, yeah, big moment right here. I'm sitting out, but this is still very, very bullish that we made it past 230 now. I mean, my niece might be going to Syracuse. Syracuse cost $82,000 a year. For what? It's insane. And there should be investigations into it, because that's talking about corruption between politics and the college education university system in this country. Oh my God. I think I'd be great at it, right? I mean, that's what Trump, again, he might not be the smartest guy in the world, but he's he knows exactly what he's doing. You repeat something enough, people will believe it. He knows that, and that's what he does best. He is the greatest marketer that's ever been. I still think he didn't want to be president. I think first he's like, oh shit, I won. Oh, all right, now what do I got to do? And then he got all pissed off because he didn't win. He's like, fuck this shit, man. I don't lose it. Shit. I gotta run again now. Now he's president. He's like, oh man, now what do I do? Shit. You know what else I would do? I would bring back fireside chats. So how many households? We have 360 million people in this country. How many households? Let's say a fourth of that. You send the email in a self-addressed stamped envelope. Self-addressed stamped envelope. Remember those? Just email me, and I will send you an old-timey radio, one of them little brown boxes, old-timey radios, and you only have one channel, me. And every Friday at 4:20, you hear a bong noise. And the presidential music comes on. Everybody get their bong hits. All right, let's chat. And we'd have like a nice, 40-minute conversation every Friday at 4:20 to 5 o'clock. Time to hang with the president. Bong rips with the president. And we'd have like a weekly review of what's going on. We'd have chat rooms where you could talk to the president. So 129 million homes, right? Bang. 129 million little boxes. They won't, what do that cost me? $250,000? They don't cost much. Only has one channel, a couple of vacuum tubes. It's a drop in the bucket, right? It's one less F-30, whatever those planes that we just spent 3.1 trillion. You know about that story? We spent $3.1 trillion on planes that the Air Force is like, yeah, we're not feeling these planes. We're not feeling these planes. You better be. Google that shit. It's crazy. All right, we made it, man. I mean, I don't know what to think. I know. Think about it with $1 trillion, right? That's why it's so enraging just to know. I know a very rich woman, and I was trying to become her financial advisor. She's the financial advisor to famous people. Her clients are all Hollywood people, which they don't know how to manage their own money. But neither did she, which is kind of weird. But she wasn't the manager. She was this. She was like, if they want a car, she'd be the one that goes and buys the car, gets all the paperwork done. She basically manages their lives. I wanted to be just the market guy for that part of her. And I started looking at what she owned. At the time, she had 5,000 shares of Beyond Meat. She had a bunch of weed stocks. This is a person that said to me out loud, I don't even mind paying 90% tax to the government because I know it's going to a good place. What? You're okay with getting taxed 90% on your income because you think it's going to? I was like, I got a better idea. Give me your money. Give me all your money then. I was like, that's because she's, she goes and saves the turtles, the manatee. She's on every board of directors. She's a Galapagos turtle. I mean, saving everybody, right? Adopted 4 kids, the whole thing. 5,000 shares of Beyond Meat and all these weed stocks, right? And I'm like, this is going to be a worthless stock 5 years from now. I was like, the stock's at 250. Why don't you sell half of it? I don't really care about the money. What? What did you just say? So if you do the math, what 5,000 shares roughly, what was it, around $250? It was like $225 at the time. So she had 5,000 shares, basically 1.1 million. Anybody here want this money? That's what I said to her. I was like, if you're willing to allow the stock to go back to, and at the time I was being generous, it's probably going to go back to 50 and then inevitably go to 0. She's like, well, I really believe, and I don't really care. I really believe in the company, and I don't really care about the money. I was like, then give it to me. Give it to me. I'll manage it for you. And I'll let you know. I'll pretend that you still own the stock, but I'll sell it and use the money for my family for better purposes than you just letting it go to 0. And she had all these weed stocks. I'm like, listen, trust me. Most of these, you should be happy that they're green. Sell them. And she just let, she had like a, $10 million portfolio. $1 million of it was in Beyond Meat and about $500,000 of weed stocks, and it's at 0. I mean, I understand you have money, but why would you be irresponsible like that? You could have saved a lot more turtles, right? You could have adopted 2 more kids. Oh my God, last time I spoke to her, she gave Kamala Harris a nickname. She's like, so you into KH? I'm like, what, KH? What's that? Some new drug? She's like, no, Kamala. I'm like, she's not cool. She ain't cool enough for a nickname. Oh, KH. Ugh. What are we having this conversation for? I guess it was just to pass the time away, right? 2.5 point rips back and forth on the Qs. I don't know, man. If we make it past 3 o'clock, oh man, I might have to buy again. I don't know. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna gamble on here? Well, how much of the 430s now going into the close? There's still $2. Actually, you know what's not an absurd call because the risk reward is still in your favor. 430s for 173 right there. And then you could sell the 433, I think. Let me see. Not that you really want to do call spreads because if we do rip, you'll cap your gain. But yeah, you could do a 430, 433. Sorry, 430, 434 for a buck. So you're risking $1 to make 4. If we do rip, at least you're getting something. Or we're going to crash into the close. I have got no, after that I got out of that long trade near the highs, I think I'm just going to I'm very, very anxious now to do something, but I don't know what to do. So I guess I won't do anything. But if we dip and if we do break down and hold VWAP again, if we faux show at 418 back above 420, then I'm buying. So we'll see if we get that move. I'm just happy we survived today so far. Yeah. This is it. All right. Yeah, I'm looking at 2 different screens. Sorry. Yeah. Thanks. I mean, we're still consolidating above prior day VWAP. So if we break down, break VWAP, and flirt with those lows again, then turn. I want basically the trade that I did over here. I didn't buy it. I bought it on this move for 19.75, which was pretty good. Just remember, tick tock, earnings season's coming. It's going to be sick. What's the over under? I will say 85% of companies will mention the word tariff and blame the tariffs for something. All right. Let's see what CEO comes out and says, fuck those tariffs. We're doing so great. They can't stop us. That stock will be up 30%. What's the faux show, bro? It's when you break those lows. Here's the faux show, bro. You broke the low of the day, and then you came back above those lows, and then broke VWAP. So faux show, fake out, shake out, VWAP, breakout. As I'm yelling at the kid trying to trade for me, he's buying up here. I mean, I wanted him to buy. If you're going to buy the turn, you want to try to buy the turn. I mean, obviously, nobody expected a 40-point move on the Qs. But if we break down, break VWAP, break these levels, and then come back, again, that's a big if we do that. Or we just, again, I don't mind us consolidating, just closing the day out up here. It's just a bullish day. And hopefully tomorrow we get that same exact move. Just wash them out, and then we turn, and everybody goes chasing. Also, I'm going to have those guys with the buy side indicator guys are coming back. If anybody hasn't got free stuff from them. Uh-oh. Here comes some rug pulling. All right. I'll be back later, or I'm signing off YouTube. I got to concentrate now. Let's see if they have the balls to get through that last consolidation. Under 420, I'd actually probably look to buy, but it has to turn back above the VWAP. All right. Be careful out there. Well, yeah, but I've been in this market, you want to try to preempt your strike before the VWAP, but you're getting paid on every VWAP pop anyway. If you could buy here, so you see it better when you look at it like this. You're holding that, you're holding, you broke down, you held, then you rolled and broke back. And in this case, it looks like it's nearby. It wasn't really that close at the time. This was 406, and then the VWAP was 408.50 at the time. We're still holding the upper range. All right, be careful out there. Email me if you guys want to hang out Thursday night. Should be a good one. I'm going to have these hedge fund scanner guys coming on, talking about buy side stuff. It's like dark pool scanners for buy side institutional buys. It's interesting stuff. Later.